that are of relatively large animals compared to any animal that exists today, but they really are not too much bigger than the blue whale. So, the size of the fossils they present to us are large enough and small enough to keep people sane. One of the things that I've noticed is that there is evidence all around us of the prehistoric world of giants and dragons. And because this is a very big world, for one person there seems to be no end to what you will find here when you are looking for it. In the Bungkhan province of Thailand, there is a cave, the Naka Cave. This is right near the border of Thailand and Laos. And the very first thing that you notice, or that I noticed when viewing photographs of this place, is the snake. What is this? Is this a natural formation which includes the head of a serpent? Or is this just an ancient sculpture? Or are we just looking at another example of petrified?
Dragon still throat without, it won't be too stiff, but he's still well plated. And it comes right down, and it comes down into his guts, which happen to be right here. There's his legs, and here is his tail. Now again, you have Google Earth. Why should I bother wasting your time? There's his tail. That's all. You come over here, you're going to say, well, let's show you, and then I'll just leave it at that. And a couple last statements, and adios con Dios, amigos. Here's his tail running off. Dead dragon effluent. And if you'd like to see another one, all you got to do is come over to the US of A right there. All right? Thanks. I think I showed you the song Pete did, and that was just a couple weeks later, May 3rd, same year. And here it is, Space Station Flyover Morocco. Reptile scales are incredible and rugged geology. Share it on social media. I never saw it. Maybe they shared it, but I didn't see it. Okay, my friends, all I want to do is re-engage with NASA. They said they asked. See, look, Space Station Flyover Morocco. And then they asked the question, is this reptile scales are incredible and rugged geology in Morocco? They shared it on social media. Well, I'd like to respond. This dragon. And I had no clue really too much about it. I just looked at it, and I originally thought it was just a stone tendon ball. However, I do believe it is a dragon's eye. And I got popped with a couple of hits this morning. This came from Christina Kruger, I believe is her name. Christina Kruger, I believe it is. Ooh, fun day at Mudfloss. I'm sorry, it's Christina Cooper. And this is, look at this very carefully. See this, how squared off that is? How amazingly squared off that is? And I have other shots of this from different perspectives. And a couple of guys just did a video about going in here. Now, look at these layers. You see the size of this thing? You know how many layers there are here? There's a bazillion. I think that's a technical term. Okay, it's pretty obvious that this thing is coming down this way, and it's coming up to meet itself in a pinch here, which an eye does, and down here. Now, I don't have the best shots of this thing because I was never really that interested. I thought it was a tendon ball, and they are everywhere. Let me show you what I originally thought it was and why I now realize it is not what I thought it was. All right, you see this? This is what I thought it was originally, that big dragon's eye, but these are just stone balls, and these are tendon balls. They're all over the earth. I mean, just everywhere, and they are serviced by blood, and they erode sometimes, just like that did. And that's another erode. You see the top fell off over there. I mean, they're all over the earth, and everybody's, oh, what are these? We can't figure it out. Well, I figured it out. They're tendon balls. And that's what sometimes they have this, and then they have the chert around the outside, which you, sometimes they'll take on a color of like copper or something, which is in the area, and they have like a surrounding shell, but nothing like the eyeballs. And then they come in vast quantities here and there. The Moki marbles are unbelievable. There's just bazillions of them, and they're everywhere. They're all over the earth. And every day I see people saying, oh, well, I wonder what they are. They are tendon balls. These are actually interstitium balls, most of them. These are interstitium balls. When you see them in clay, in the red, white, brown, yellow clay, that's skin. It's literally skin. And that was the flesh of the people that they, or whoever it was that was in it. See them in the ball? That's the clay of somebody's body. Some creature's body. I'm not saying somebody. Here they are. They're washed up everywhere. I mean, they're literally everywhere because the earth is literally made of them. Is made of creatures. Now, again, that's another one of these balls, but there's nothing like the number of layers in the dragon eyes. All right, those guys got big balls. Let's see, here's a gigantic big ball. What's this? You see it right there? This is the kind of, and they're all over here, see them? Boom, 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 boom. That is filled with sand. Some of them are filled with sand. Some of them are filled with pockets of, they look like they could almost move a little bit against each other and still really, really retain solid. These, I don't know why they filled with sand, but there must have been something internally in there. Let's see what's this one saying. Here's another style. These are the kind that have like structural. I think that might be able to do a little of this and not completely destroy itself. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But it's some kind of
America. As children, we were taught that the Spaniards came over and found an indigenous and savage people. But what the history books don't tell you is that there was an advanced civilization here already. Early archaeologists were dumbfounded when they found hundreds of giant-sized mummies in burial mounds. These discoveries led a British prospector named J.C. Brown to travel to a place called Mount Shasta in California. He found a cave at the base of the mountain that spiraled 11 miles into the earth. And it was there that he found an ancient underground city. Inside, he found gold and silver and giant, colossal weapons, but there was no people anywhere. And it was only on his way out that he found thousands of mummies buried inside another cave. He brought back one of the skeletons and wanted to share this news with the world. So he put together a team of scientists and miners to go back into the cave. But on the day of the departure, J.C. Brown was murdered in his tent. One witness said they had seen a tall and hairy bipedal creature leaving his tent that night. The team was disbanded, and the location of the entrance to the cave was forever unknown. Later, explorers trying to find this ancient city would describe strange experiences with tall people that they met in the wilderness. Now, most of Mount Shasta is privately owned, and if you go onto these properties, you're escorted away from the mountain. Though we've now discovered hundreds of giant mummies, scientists believe that they're all fake. But even today, people still search for these ancient and advanced lost cities.